Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Market Mates episode. It's great to be back with you guys. A reminder, this is our last show of the week. Craig and I both have family from overseas here for the first time in a long time, so we are going to be spending the rest of the week with them after tirelessly working throughout the current bear market more than a lot of people have already, Craig. So we thought, when else would we really take time off if it wasn't for our family to be here with us kind of right now? So we will this will be our last show for this week, and then we obviously will be back to normal run times from Monday next week, Sunday night in America. Craig, mate, how are you doing? You're a change of scenery for those who are watching, maybe not listening. If you are listening, thanks for tuning in, obviously on Apple or Spotify. Do obviously give us a little bit of a 5-star rating. We've been doing this for a long time, and we hope you find value in our show. If you're obviously watching, you will all see that Craig is he's already on holiday. He's got a background
in the jungle
that tells me he's on holiday.
Yeah, dude, I'm in the Amazon rainforest right now. It's fantastic this time of year. No, I'm in Surfers Paradise. It's a bit of a view. For those who don't know, it's near Circle of Cavil, for those familiar. So pretty nice here. A bit of an unfavorable angle, man. I've got more chins than a Chinese phone book, but yeah, we are good. Hopefully for the viewers, this doesn't drop in and out too badly. I'm just on my laptop hotspotting, but it seems okay for now. And maybe I should go on holiday a bit more, because the moment I step out, the market goes greeny. So what's happening, man? What's happening? Is the bull market back?
The bull market is back, apparently, guys. The bull market is back.
As OpenSea decided to delay, the bull market comes back.
We can't wait to talk about that. The amount of FUD that is going to be hit, guys, is crazy. Before we get stuck in, don't forget BTCC. We do have a trading competition that is live, guys. I've just dropped it in the chat. You can sign up. No KYC, no VPN required at all to trade on that platform. 10% deposit bonus, and you can obviously go into the comp for the trading competition as well. So you can check that one out. It goes for a month, and we'll obviously update that as it happens in real time. Before we get stuck in, dude, there's a lot of topics to discuss today. Hyperliquid over $41, Bitcoin approaching $75, OpenSea delay their TG, even though the market's pumping. Like, it's just crazy timing. It's like they announce that and say market conditions, and then it pumps. Like, it's funny. And then obviously we'll dive in a little bit more closer to home with the Australian bond yield hitting over 5% for the first time in about 13, 14 years here in Australia, which is going to put pressure on probably interest rates in our country, but we'll get to that later in the show, Craig. Mate, how does it feel to see the market kind of have a relief rally? Like, this is like, and I think the big lesson here for a lot of people tuning in is we still have a bearish tune, and I still maintain macro bearish bias, but of course you're going to have rallies in a bear market. That's what happens. We just came out of one of the most volatile periods we've seen in years at the start of February and dumped into that. Of course, we need to have a bit of a bounce, spend a bit of time reaccumulating liquidity at certain levels, and then continue, obviously, the trend, or at least show us a range where prices is sellers are exhausted and prices going sideways. So, Craig, how does it make you feel seeing, we were just talking before, the AI narratives are all pumping. So Render, Nia, Tau are all up tremendously. Pepe's up not too bad on the weekly. We're seeing Hyperliquid pump. It is now a top 10 asset. It is now above ADA inside the top 10. Oh. Good riddance, I say there, Craig. I love to see that. But yeah, mate, how's it feel to see the pump in the market right now?
Man, it feels amazing. It feels amazing. Look, it's nice. I woke up and I checked everything, and I'm like, my Pepe bag is only down 85% now, Greenie.
Yeah.
So look, as much as it's fantastic, right? Green's fantastic. It's nice to see. It makes everyone feel good. But I must admit, when I zoom out and I check my entry price, we got a long way to go. So, you know, you and I spoke offline, and I was like, right, this little pump, I'll probably get rid of the last of my bags. What I mean by that is a little bit of last of Pepe, a little bit of my Mog that I got left. They're just sprinkles. I've got a bit of Pengu left. I wouldn't mind ditching a bit of that. But my Bitcoin, I'll probably hold here, I think. I just don't feel Bitcoin's at a level that, I'm particularly interested in selling at. I'd probably like to sell a little bit higher. But you kind of hit the nail on the head, Greenie. In bear markets, you see rallies. It's not like you and I, when we're speaking about being in a bear market, it's all down. It's not. Yeah. There is up some days. There's just more down than up. So we're in a bit of an uptrend at the moment. not unusual. I mean, you're highlighting there back in 21. You can see we had little recovery bounces, relief rallies there, just like now. But great to see things like Hyperliquid pumping
Yeah.
like that. That makes me excited. I'm not in it, and I'm so annoyed. But that's trading, man. I didn't get the number I wanted, so now I've just got to be patient and wait for it. I'm not going to chase this pump. Hell no. Um, I would just be careful to the viewers out there, not financial advice, but just don't chase pumps because we could see green for a week and then we could see red for a month. So
Exactly.
just stay calm, everyone. Stay calm. Don't try and ape in. I must admit, I was pretty happy to see Ethereum pumping. I've got a bit of an Ethereum bag I want to get rid of. It's not massive, but I'm thinking this is looking pretty nice to exit those things. I'm still of the frame of mind like you and I have been speaking about. I think we've got months and months and months and months and months of a downtrend to go. So, or at least flatline. It might be flatline. So,
Yeah.
I'd like to get out of it a little bit now, and then I'd like to just be able to go what you did, just go like that, and just go. Okay, I can now. I've got my big fat stable bag and then I can reallocate. So happy days, dude. How are you feeling about it? I'm sure you're probably much the same, but what do you think?
Yeah, like I only have a small amount of Bitcoin and a small amount of Hyperliquid. I don't really own anything else. And that's because time. I'm still a patient man. I've done this a long time. I worked out the other day. So actually not my third, it's my fourth bear cycle. So 2016 was a bear cycle before 2017 rallied, right? So for me, patience, just patience is so important. And you're going to get rallies, and I'll show you, you're going to get multiple rallies in a bear cycle. That's how it works. I'm actually of the opinion we probably bottom like Q2. I've said this for a while now, end of Q2 and start of Q3, because of how aggressive we've actually dumped from October, September last year. It's been at a very fast rate compared to what we saw in the past. So inevitably, I do think that takes an effect on the length of the bear market. And I think we do bottom quicker than a lot of people probably think. And again, we've been the 4-year cycle is still periodically the same until it's disproven, right? So, I mean, bear market lows take a while to bottom. It usually is around 300 to 400 days. It usually takes a couple hundred days for them to reaccumulate at the bottom as well. I mean, even on Ethereum here, it took from this period here, from May 2022 to November 2023, for it to break out of this little pattern. Bitcoin's very similar, right? If we come and have a look at Bitcoin, it spent a lot of time down in this region between sort of this high here from May 2022 to same period, right? So bottoms take time, and you can range for a long time, 500 days of range. I'm not saying we're going to have a 500-day of range, but I do think that you're going to get more opportunity. And for me, Craig, now I start to shift my bias. My bias starts to go, next opportunity we get at whether we swing back to the lows at 59K, whether we hit low 60Ks, or whether we start to deviate below there and set a new range or just liquidity sweep, whatever happens there is the buy signal for me. I'm starting to get that confirmation now of time analysis that a lot of people don't consider. I don't really care about price, and everyone's like, oh, Greeny, you'll change your bias. I mean, I put a tweet up this morning saying I don't get bullish unless Bitcoin changes structure at 94K, which it's not going to happen. I already know it's not going to happen, but I put it out there for Twitter just to reiterate the point that for structure change, you have to have a weekly, a daily, a 3-day, a 5-day close above 93.7, and then I'll change my tune. Everyone's like, oh, you've missed the whole entire move of this. 28%, bro. I don't give a shit about 28%. What I want is structure. That I have a confident setup because I've done this for 10 years in a row, right? So again, the lesson is actually understanding what works for you, coming up with a trading and investing plan, and from there executing. It's the executing step that everyone fails at, Craig. Everyone, I'm sure we'll receive DMs, I'm sure, from certain people saying, oh, you guys were wrong. Like, why are you so bearish? The bull market's back. Like, we're pumping. And as I said, I think Bitcoin could go to 86K here in this rally before we obviously sweep some liquidity and maybe come back lower. So I'm telling you, there's always opportunities to trade. But as I said, you're hitting the point that I often tell everybody about. There's opportunities to trade. There's opportunities to be active. A passive approach will not allow you to be successful over time. I think that's a big difference there, Craig. So I know I just unpacked quite a lot there. Which part do you want to? What do you want to talk about specifically there?
Look, I suppose for the viewers, how are you looking as far as time goes? You mentioned time. So what are
Yeah.
you thinking? Like if this played out the same as 21, 22, more like 22, 23,
Yeah.
where do you think we are in the bear market now?
I'd probably say we're closer. We're actually closer. Like I know we have very much similarities here between these lows holding here and here, and that retest of that all-time high as well, which doesn't quite retest this low. But I actually think that we could be not in this area here because of how aggressive we've actually been, and we actually could be in this little area down here, Craig, where
Yeah.
price is very much already further lower than a lot of people anticipate, and we do still have at least one or two corrective moves, right? Like this. It come down, it swept liquidity once. Okay, we went to the bottom of the range, we then rallied again, and then we did sweep liquidity, and then we had our reaccumulation range. I would say we are very close in this vicinity to our reaccumulation range. And that's just because of how aggressive this move has been since September last year. Now, to further reiterate that point, if you start to look at monthly stochastic as well, and I was chatting to GTG exclusively this morning that I'm no longer doing the live streams publicly for GTG. They're going to stay in-house only. So if you want daily, well, not daily, but multiple weekly analysis, updates and trade setups, and join GTG because they're not going out on YouTube anymore. But what I'm looking at here is historically, Craig, I mean, the theme is pretty clear. I think we're going to be bottoming sooner rather than later this cycle because of how aggressive this move has been. Now, you have to remember that in 2022, 2023, that was coming out of a long double pump. November was huge after the May pump as well, out of COVID in 2019. So inevitably, it took a long time for this bear market to play out on a monthly stochastic. We are already aggressively shorter in terms of price. Like if we had a look, just to compare where the stochastic momentum is now, it took 400 days for the monthly to get to where it is today at around the 182, 150 day level, Craig. So we are already halfway earlier. We're already in time. We are already halfway earlier than what we were last cycle. And I think that's a really important understanding, is that the monthly stochastic, guys, is just to reiterate here, it's not going to tell me the bottom, but it confirms a bottom is in once it starts to pivot back to bullish structure. Okay. And I think that's a really good lesson for people to understand. We'll be talking about it on the show. But I think the lesson here, Craig, is that time is now not as long as I think and I've been saying this for a while. Q2, Q3 is when I think you will have great opportunities to accumulate. And I actually went and had a look, Craig. I bought Casper in December 2022 at 0.005. It ran to nearly 2. That was a 30x. We bought Radium at 0.2 to 0.4. Under $1. It ran to $8.50 or something. That was an 8x for $1, and it was like a 50 or a 45x for me at 20 cents when I bought it. So like there will be ample opportunities soon, and I think you're just going to be having a little bit more patience. It doesn't mean you can't trade and be active, like I said before, Craig. I think people need to be adaptive, need to be actively trading, and this is proof in the pudding. But I'm saying this is, I talk mainly from a spot perspective. I talk mainly from a buy and hold perspective, because you only get certain occasions where that happens. I think back to when we ranged, I'll show proof of this. So the tariff dip reminds me of that. The August liquidation event and this period here where we consolidated sideways gives you that. Historically, it's only bear market bottoms or corrective periods in a bull market where you probably should listen to people who know what they're doing over a long period of time. It's like where I find confidence to buy spot. Outside of those scenarios, I'm trading more actively on chain. I'm trading more trends. I'm chasing airdrops. I'm chasing perp trades because they're more lucrative, because there's more volatility, there's more volume, there's more liquidity on chain, there's more active users, there's more active addresses, there's more opportunities. OpenSea wouldn't delay their TGE, all these sort of things, right? So I think the approach for me is mainly coming from a spot perspective, that I am keen to get into the market soon. Like I have a small exposure now, but I can't wait to probably a big lesson. I actually spoke to my wife about this, and this is me being personal. This is me being reflective. This is me being raw and open. A big lesson for me is trying to get back into the same mantra that I had in 2023, where I took my $5,000 and made 7 figures from trading. Now I'm in it's a very different scenario. Like I've built a bit of wealth. We've bought a house. I'm very much more in a protective mode, and that's not the best way to be trying to trade. So I need to get out of that mantra and go back in and be like, the reason I made so much money is because I was a risk taker. And and you're gonna not win 100% of the time. I don't sell that story. I never sell that story. But you're gonna have better opportunities because you do take those risks. You're not like, it's not scared money. So I think for me personally, Craig, it's now getting to that maturity level. It's like you've got money. Now you need to reuse it so that you can now execute over the next sort of 3 to 5 years, right? So that it's hard because I'm like, well, hold on. I'm like running the business. I'm like, okay, I need this much runway because I'm paying myself,
Yeah.
like all these sort of things. Right now we got a mortgage. And I'm like, well, hold on. Like I need to have X amount in the business so that I have cash there in case shit happens. But I also need to be like, well, hold on, I should take X amount out of the business and trade with that because that's how I make money, right? So I'm finding that balance quite difficult at the moment. For me personally, is that maturing sort of investing trading
Mm.
journey.
Yeah, I'm the same. I had a similar talk with myself recently because obviously when we got closer to the top, specifically Bitcoin, I mean here, I got really defensive.
Yeah,
And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think I followed a lot of long-term traders and they feel the same way. And you probably should feel defensive near tops or near
yeah,
all-time highs. You don't
yeah,
know it's a top, but when Bitcoin broke all-time high and headed to 100K, from 100K plus, I got really edgy.
yeah,
Like that's why I kept selling
yeah.
because I knew it was a ticking time bomb. And look how
Hmm.
quickly it broke down from 126 down to
Hmm.
59. Like that was
Hmm.
fast. It took years or a year
Hmm.
or two to get to all-time high from the bottom, but from top to where we are now took months. So
Yeah.
it's like stairs up, elevator down, they say. It's very quick on the way down. So that's why I went in an ultra defensive mode from about 100K. So now I'm
Hmm.
having to retrain my mind
Yeah.
to be risk on again. And it's taking me a little bit of time to almost let go of the money
Yeah.
because in my head on the way up, I was constantly calculating how much I had. Classic, by the way, sell signal, guys. If you're
Yeah.
working out your portfolio wealth, start selling because I was like, oh, half this, half a Bitcoin, two Bitcoin. I was like, I should have been selling. But anyway, so I'm the same as you. And it's funny you bring that up. I probably think a lot of traders are probably feeling like that at the moment, where we've kind of got a little bit gun shy because the market, I mean, when the market dumps from 126 down to 59,
Yeah.
it rocks you, doesn't it? Like, look, I can only imagine how much it rocks some of our viewers because I was selling on the way up.
Yeah, and I've been
So,
stable. I agree. Like
and
I've
you've
been
been
stabled
stabled
up
up.
since October, September last year. So I knew the move was probably going to come and I
And
was
even
prepared
though
for it.
you
Yeah.
even though you prepared, and I did too, it still emotionally hits you. There's still a part of you that goes, oh, all right, which is I don't think a bad thing. I think it's natural. But where the skill comes in being a great trader, I think is
Mhm.
understanding your emotions and how you feel and just regulating that. Are these real emotions? Oh, not real, but should I really feel like this now? And that's what you're doing at the moment. You're like, should I feel like this? And you're like, well, hang
Mhm.
on, this looks closer to a bottom than I thought. And if
Mhm.
that's the case, really, you should be starting to get quite bullish. And
Mhm.
I'm the same as you. And that's why I mentioned on stream yesterday, I'm starting to get pretty bullish because I'm just waiting to see it. I'm like you. I'm waiting for that next dip, that next
Mhm.
one. That next one for me is I'm the same as you. I'm like I might go
Mhm.
quite not deep, but I'm going to start throwing in more than say 5K. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It might be a 20K buy in Bitcoin or 30 or
That's
something.
I start to agree with you. Like I start to go, well, hold on a minute. Like next low or next corrective move, I'm happy to allocate 10 grand to Hyperliquid. I'm happy to
Yeah,
allocate 10 grand, like 20 grand to Bitcoin, 10 grand to Sol, 10 grand to ETH, right? Maybe buy, like I haven't even looked at things on chain, but I'm sure there's some runners out there, like some of these AI tokens over on base. That starts to interest me again because there's probably opportunity, right? Like Rect is down at 63 million. So it's still in a corrective period here. It's making new lows, but something like that at 50 million might make a lot of sense as well. And just
yeah,
buy a couple of grand of that and sit back and come back in a year and it could be up at 250 million. And that's a
yeah,
5X like with a position, right? So I do like, I think don't get complacent here. I don't FOMO in here. If you are in the move, congrats. Be
yeah.
aggressive, be active. I think being active in crypto is definitely the strategy moving forward. But for me, it's definitely it's a journey. So I think for me, it's now how can I get back into that mindset of being degenerate, being risk on, but also still being smart, with the wealth that you've accumulated so far.
Well, think about it now. Like, do you remember in 23, right, when Bitcoin was about 40 to 44,000, and you and I were buying Bitcoin puppets at about 5,000 to 10,000 US?
So
My
true.
my mindset now would not be conducive to taking that trade.
Yeah.
Like, I would be a bit scared. I mean, over the last 3 months, I would not take that trade. So I've
Yeah.
got to start. I'm not saying look for those trades now. I'm saying I need to rewire my brain again to be open to, I guess I need to not be like this, and I need to just open up my field of view again and be
Yeah.
open to weird stuff like base you
Well,
just brought up,
yeah. New
like
trends.
exotic
With yeah.
trades.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a big lesson in itself. I think, yeah, that you like, and this whole AI narrative that's just going to
Yeah.
continue to dominate. Like having money over on base just makes a lot of sense. So I need to move money over there, be comfortable holding money. Like, as bad as this sounds, take money off abstract and go put it on base because there's probably way better opportunities consistently over there. And that's real. Okay, that's real. All right, moving on to some. Last topic on this, Craig. I just wanted to bring up for those who listen, I will talk through it. But for those who are watching our stream, I've pulled up basically 2022 and how many times we had pumps, complacency bounce, relief rallies, whatever you want to call them, bull traps. Okay, there's multiple words that people like to use for them. But I just wanted to reiterate the point that we actually had 6 relief rallies in 2022's bear market corrective period. As I said just before, I still think that this period is actually this bear cycle is going to be quicker than previous cycles. But we did see between a 17 and 46% rally across these 6 occasions. And as you can see, we saw 24% in the end of 2020. End of 2022, 46% in March, February of 2023. We also saw obviously a 2022. These are all in 2022. Sorry, I got my dates wrong down the bottom. So 24% at the end of 21 and start of 22. We then saw 46% in March 22, 26% in June 22, 42% in July 2022, 23% in September, and 17% in November, Craig. So complacency bounces are normal in a bear market. So I just wanted to really reiterate that point. Oh my God, that did numbers again overnight. So
Yeah, that's
this
good.
post less is more on Twitter is absolutely killing it. It's absolutely killing it. So love to see it. Big news overnight. Hyperliquid flips Cardano ADA and is now the 10th largest crypto asset in the world. I love to see that. You have a real world. We spoke about this yesterday, but you finally have a proper chain, if you want to call it that, a proper product, a proper revenue business above a rubbish chain of ADA. Hyperliquid now is above $41 for the first time in multiple months. It's the first time it's seen $41 since November 2025. It did move into the top 10, Craig, and it is currently now. The next target on its list is Dogecoin at 15 billion. Hyperliquid's at 10.5, and it did just flip Cardano at 10.4. So obviously, if we do have a bit more of a corrective period, I think Hyperliquid towards $30 still, as I said for a while, I still think you're going to get it there. I think anything in the $20 region is just, it screams value. It's just so obvious. But as we discussed yesterday, Trader Main coming out and making a really good point. As a fellow trader, it makes a lot of sense. Is the main hindrance of bearishness with Hyperliquid would be KYC and regulation, right? But like I was just thinking and chatting with GTG this morning about this, but you've also got the point of like a lot of BTCC and other exchanges are no KYC, no VPN, right, on their platform. So it's just you would be banned in certain jurisdictions, certain countries for using Hyperliquid. So maybe something like Australia, which does have KYC, would allow like on like Bybit and whatnot. It would be allowed in Australia, whereas other countries that don't allow sort of those like Bybit and whatnot in those countries, then maybe Hyperliquid doesn't work in those countries. So I think that's it would just be geolocation based. Is that really that bearish, Craig? Or do you think it would be because they're making so much revenue, they would have to slam it from a regulation standpoint?
Whoa, that's a good question. I mean, I can't see it being favorable to price if it starts getting banned. Like, there's just no way that can be bullish. Will people still use it with VPNs? I think absolutely yes.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a certain percentage that won't. So then the price will be affected. I guess probably the news of it happening would have more of a price impact than actual users no longer
And that's
using it.
always what happens in crypto. It's
Yeah,
always the lead up to an event. It's always the
yeah,
speculation, the hype, the sentiment leading up. And often it goes back to the same story it's been since I joined in 2016. It's like, what buy the new what is it? Sell the I can't even remember. I don't. It's been a while since I've done it. What is it?
I can't
Buy the
remember either.
rumors. Oh, buy the rumors, sell the news. Yeah.
I think if that happens, if they do something like that, I will buy. Like, I think that's like the hyperliquid black swan or narrative that would give me a really good entry, lower than the technical analysis would probably predict. That's probably your $15 hyperliquid or something, like 20 or something like that. Obviously we're guessing here, I'm theorizing. That may never happen. I might not get my entry at
exactly.
$20.
We could be wrong. It's just, but it's important that you, and I said this again to GTG this morning. It's like you need to be aware of anything happening. You need to be, if you're dumb, you're literally making the dumbest decision in life if you're not thinking about any possibility, good scenarios and bad scenarios. Realistic. It's not negative thinking. It's just being realistic. So many people live their life without being realistic, and I think it gets compounded when you're trading and investing. If you're being unrealistic, if you're trading on hope, if you're just gambling because your gut feels good, dude, that's not consistent. That's not repeatable. Sure, in a bull market, you'll make money because shit only goes up, right? So anybody can make money when markets go up, but the true people know how to take profit. They know how to make money in multiple conditions, all market conditions, and they know what they're doing in a scenario right now where the market is in a more corrective period, right? So yeah, I think that's a really good lesson in itself.
I think as well, one of the benefits of running through all the different scenarios, A, it makes you mentally prepare for those scenarios. And B, I think it actually, as hippie as it sounds, I think it has a physical, logical effect on you that if the negative outcome occurs, you won't have that gut-wrenching moment quite as much as you would if you hadn't thought of it as at all. So it's like kind of thinking about the bad news in your mind. You feel it, so you're in your body, you think it's happening, and then you make a plan for if that happens. And what I find quite good is if that bad scenario happens, you've actually almost already lived it, and you actually know what to do because you made a plan if it happens. So it actually just, A, it doesn't affect you emotionally as much, physiologically as much, and you've already prepared for it. So that's what I kind of think of the best scenario, the middle scenario, and the worst, and you almost feel it. So then when it happens, you still kind of tighten up a bit, but it's not like you just, I remember in 21, I used to only plan for the best, not the worst. And then when the worst happens, the wheels would fall off the wagon and I literally would go into a panic. And it's not a good time to make a decision then. It's the worst. So yeah, no, really great points. What's this? What about season 2 of airdrop? What airdrop?
I don't know what season 2 you're talking about, but give us more Draco. Give us some more Draco. Give us some more Draco. Give us some more information there. What season 2? What's like Hyperliquid? Season 3 of Hyperliquid airdrops? Yeah, I mean, I've been trading a little bit on the platform, not a lot, but yeah, it's a great platform. I do. Yeah, no, Hyperliquid. Yeah, I mean, it is true. Like that could be bearish. I mean, maybe people sell, but I mean, it depends, right, when it happens. If it happens in a bear market, I think there's less sell pressure. If it happens in a bull market, there's more sell pressure because price is up and it's worth more money, right? I think a lot of people would actually be pretty keen to buy, to hold
potentially,
their positions, right? So yeah, we'll definitely we'll be keeping an eye on that as it happens in real time. Moving on to the next trending topic, which is probably arguably very important news because we spoke about this for months, Craig. We
what a surprise.
We talked about this on the show. For our listeners who are obviously not watching, OpenSea are delayed. So TGE was supposed to be in Q1 2026, which we are approaching the end of in the next 2 weeks. They said there was going to be an announcement on the 30th March, which is my birthday. And then we assumed that they were going to launch TGE on the 31st of March. Definza is the founder of obviously OpenSea, has come out this morning, so getting ahead of it by 2 weeks and saying a delay is a delay. I'm not going to dress it up, and I know how it lands. He says the reality is that market conditions are challenging across crypto right now, and the C token only launches once. OpenSea could force the original date, or we could ensure every piece is in place and make this moment what the community deserves. Craig, your token shouldn't, your business, your product, your token should not be influenced by market conditions. If it is, that means it's shit. I like it's there's no dressing that up. Just to finish on these points, some of the other important parts is there are no more waves, so they've just farmed you for the past year. LOL, classic. What they have decided is to do an optional fee refund for the waves 3 to 6. Now, I will remind you all, we spoke about waves 3 to 6, which is over the past couple of months. There has been no volume on NFTs, no volume via the token swap on the platform of OpenSea. So they're basically giving away pennies. They haven't decided to give you back waves 1 to 3, which were a lot. I mean, wave one, Craig, I spent tens of thousands of dollars. And so they're not doing that. However, they do reiterate the point that all the treasures that you have accumulated will go towards a future TG platform. They also have this point here. So after March 31st, there will be 0% fees for 60 days. So for the next 2 months on their platform, now that Magic Eden is gone on EVM compatible NFTs, they're also postponing our March. They're also postponing their March 30th event. We'll host a separate one in the coming months. Again, no exclusivity. No, I mean, not exclusivity. No clarity. Focus on multiple updates. Like, this is like, bro, like you're shooting yourself. You're digging a deeper hole. You're just digging a deeper hole. It's as bad as that.
This is so disappointing. Like,
it's just
so disappointing. Like if we want to start at the top, I don't even know if this is the top. You and I could literally rant about this for hours. But they collected so much in fees in 21. Their kitty, their war chest is humongous. But I'll take a stab in the dark, and I'm going to perhaps that money wasn't responsibly reinvested, Greeny. You know what I mean? Like, if they're delaying this because of market conditions, their company, with all the fees they've earned, should be so robust it's not affected by market conditions. The fact it is, I think they've spent that money. Like, you know, I think the founders are taking too much out of the kitty. That's my view. I'm not saying that's what happened. That's what this stinks like. Then they had to farm us to get more money to give to the airdrop. Don't they already have enough? Why did they have to farm us? And then after they farm for a full year, they go, "Oh, the market." Have they not read the market conditions for the last year? It's been shite for 6 months.
Longer. I mean, liquidity on chain has been going down since Trump launched his meme coin, and that was 14 months ago.
This was always going to happen. I almost feel like they knew this was going to happen. I feel like 3 months ago they thought the market conditions would be better than now. When we broke down below 106,000, did they think it was going to get better for Bitcoin? They've had so many, as a market analyst like you and me, I find it hard to believe that I could read the market. Well, I could read the market better than OpenSea, could I? Come on, man.
Like, Craig, I mean, we're reading the market better than Tom Lee and Michael Saylor as well. Don't forget that.
Fuck me dead. You and I, do we need to open up our own trading exchange? Like Market Mates trading NFTs or something? Because this is, dude, do you know what this is? This is flat out embarrassing for them.
It is.
I'm embarrassed for them now, and I'm pretty pissed off.
I think with Magic Eden dropping EVM and ordinals, not that OpenSea has ordinals, but with them dropping EVM, it just puts the power back in OpenSea's hands, right? It really does. Like, I mean, how can you miss 2 bull markets? Like, that's just it just makes no sense to me how you can. And like, they talk about, it's being a CEO is hard, blah, blah. Yeah, well, taking ownership of time, like, you publicly have fun. Like, you should be giving back all of the money.
Yep.
If this is, like, you publicly announce this, like, how
the
is
first
this
3
not
waves,
illegal?
give you back your money, Greeny.
Yeah, dude. I'd love to have the fees back. I would have thousands of dollars of fees back. I would. Now what? I'm going to have an OpenSea airdrop in, I don't know, 2037 and 10, 14 years away or whatever. I don't know. It is disgusting. And it's chronic crypto manipulation. It really is. It's like the power goes to people's heads. The liquidity gets too high. And I'm sure they just don't want everyone to dump their token. Well, you've put yourself in this situation. You've taken our fees. Of course, we're going to dump your token. Particularly
we're all
now,
dumping the token, man.
It's going to be even worse now because everyone will even more so dump the token. So
I'm going to dump it just out of rage.
Market conditions don't really matter because the behavior of the people is going to be the same. Okay, it's going to be the same. NFTs are nowhere to be seen, and they will continue to be nowhere to be seen in the years to come. Like they're losing market share, market relevance as the years continue. Like the longer you inevitably delay that, the more pressure you'll put on people selling your token when you launch your airdrop. If they come out and do some stupid vesting stuff, I'll be so annoyed, man. I will be so annoyed. But I wouldn't put it past them.
I just don't understand, or it makes me infuriated to think a company that's, like I said, been around this long, made this much money, and they leave it till March 17th to announce this. Yeah. Like, what, 2 weeks before?
Yeah.
Like, but less than 2 weeks before, actually. Like,
yeah.
This really stinks, man. And I hope a competitor comes along and annihilates them. Like, and they get no more. But the
issue is, like, yeah, but like, there's no volume, right? Like, you've seen Magic Eden say there's no volume, so like, it's a dying meta, and it's probably the same with Pump Fun, right? Like that, these are dying metas. Like, sure, meme coins will always be and there's probably going to be always more liquidity, more interest in meme coins compared to NFTs, but it's the same mantra, right? It's still the same. That was just like meme coins were huge in 2024. NFTs were huge in 21, 22. Like it's like, but you can't replicate that in future because people get smarter, the market gets mature, the liquidity dries up, bundles and scams increase. People aren't interested anymore because it's not a new shiny asset class or a new shiny opportunity. So it just gets worse. So I don't know if a competitor will come out, Craig.
True.
But it's just, it's I don't know. It's just disappointing, man. It's disappointing. It's like, I can't just turn around and say stuff. Like, I can't change things that I say. Like, I can't just say to a meeting that I've scheduled, oh, no, sorry, I'm just going to delay it. Hey, market conditions aren't nice right now. I just want to delay this for the people. Like, bro, like, wake up and take some ownership. Seriously, take some ownership. But anyway.
I mean, it just puts them in the same category as Bullocks and Photon now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's like, congratulations. You look like every other scammer platform OpenSea. You look... Can you call them anything other than scammers now, bro? Like, honest, like, can you? Like,
well, they farmed us. They farmed us already, which is fine because everyone was trading on the platform, blah blah blah. But then to outwardly say, nearly a year ago, we're launching a TGE, farm the platform, like fees, treasures, like do these quests, do all these, like the Coinbase one, like all of these side quests, the Moonbirds, like all the SBTs or whatever it all was. Okay. Do all this and then just say, no, we're gonna give back the fees just for the most recent period of time where your volume was absolutely low, not over the past 9 months before that. It's not a good look. It is not a good look.
The thing that I think about, right? Either they're very sus or they're very fucking stupid. Which one is it, right? And both of those answers are bad. They're either sketchy or they're stupid.
How? So, like, I mean, they're just worried that they're worried about the inevitable, and it's gonna. I just said
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen one way or another. Okay, moving
on. I can't wait to dump that token, Greenie.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's gonna be in the same boat now, Craig.
I don't even care if it's 20 cents.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, here's the point. I mean, Pudgy Penguins, Craig, are nearly back at $10,000. Me and you both own one of these. We bought it. I think mine is around 21 grand. I think yours is 23 grand. Our entries. So we're still down about 60% or a little bit more, but they are approaching a floor price of $10,000, Craig. I thought about this yesterday. I mean, I'm going to have to probably sell it from a tax perspective before June to take a loss like that. From that point of view, it makes sense for me to do that, which sucks because I do want to keep it as my PFP, but I don't know, man. What are your thoughts here? Like, are you going to hold? Are you going to sell? What are you going to do in this scenario?
I think with June looming and tax time in Australia, it makes the most economical sense to sell it, unfortunately. I think so. I'm going to have to obviously, I can't see, because the reality is, like you said, you can sell it. And then if I'm so inclined to pick one up later.
Well, I mean, the beautiful part about this is you can buy one NFT and sell one and just buy a separate one and it's fine.
Yeah. So I think it makes economical sense for tax purposes for me to sell it, unfortunately. So
like I can buy this one right here, right now, Craig, and all I have to do is change my PFP with a moustache.
That's way better. Looks like David Boone for the cricket fans in the room.
It does,
That's such a good piece. It's greeny in disguise. Yeah,
yeah.
dude. I think for you and me, I don't know if there's a benefit to holding versus taking that tax loss, considering the gains you made over the last year. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the main concern. It's like, well, no matter what, it's going to take 10 grand off my income at this
yeah,
point. It's
which is
not more. Well,
good.
AUD, it'll be 15. It'll be 15,000 I can take off my income if I just take a loss. Like, you'd be dumb not to probably do that. As much as I love the NFT and I don't really want to sell it, and I assume Abstract will launch in 2037 as well as OpenSea. Then potentially, yeah,
Yeah,
I like that. I mean, like that's the thing. Like NFTs are in such an interesting like what comes next? Like what
they're in
really
a
comes next?
bad spot,
Well,
man.
like you think
Like,
about it, everyone's like so bullish on the revenue, the businesses, and all of that, but it doesn't translate back to the NFT or the. And I mean, they had the ETF and whatnot, but the ETF was 90% Pengu and 10% NFTs, right? So it's like, yeah, but then who else is going to speculate on an NFT meme coin ETF? Like, it's probably just going to be people who are crypto native. It's not going to be
yeah,
some random person on the street, right? Like, I don't know. I'm just
nah,
again, I'm not creating fun, and I think this is a big lesson. I'm not here to create FUD. I'm here to be realistic because so many people aren't realistic. Okay, there's so many
yeah.
people aren't realistic.
People use the word FUD a little bit too easy in crypto. I noticed as
Oh
well. Like
yeah,
if you
I
bring
wrote
up
it.
if you bring up that there's a potential possibility that something goes down, that's
Yeah,
called FUD. It's like, no, hang on, that's you realize that's one, it can go up or down, yeah. Like
yeah,
it doesn't all go up. So, and also just to clarify on your point or reiterate, Magic Eden's now shut support for EVM NFTs.
yeah,
So not only have the prices of NFTs gone down, the actual marketplaces that sell them no longer
yeah.
support it.
No, exactly.
That's the worry for me. Like it's like,
Yeah,
oh
if
boy.
there's no volume, then how is OpenSea making money? How are they going to launch a TGE? Like, unless they have the kitty, they're paying these dudes hundreds of thousands a year just to advise them or to be on their team. It is interesting. I mean, you don't know. We don't know the books. It's not public. Like, it's not like a stock where they have to post their earnings, post all their cash
Yeah.
positions, all that. Like, it's all anonymous because it's blockchain technology and blockchain companies. But speaking on that point, Craig, I actually wrote a tweet last night about this. I said, someone is bearish on your favorite coin and your first reaction is to call them a scammer. Really think about why that is. CT, so crypto Twitter, has the biggest ego problem in any market. If someone's thesis doesn't match yours, that's not a scam. That's just a different opinion. But most people are here, or most people here, sorry, would rather attack than consider they might be wrong. It's ownership, Craig. I mean, it's so easy to type anonymously behind a keyboard these days. The amount of people that hate on my tweets every single day, it's like it's a reflection on them. It's insecure. They're just insecure, is the way I like to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it takes me back to 24, 25, and you and me were selling Bitcoin from 100K upwards. There were people out there that were calling us retarded because we weren't paying attention to the rainbow color chart that they followed, and that
Exactly.
chart told them it was going to 250, 300, and we got called retarded. And interesting enough, do you know what? None of them are here today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
interesting? They're all gone. They don't
Yeah.
comment anymore because they're not even. I checked one of their Twitter profiles. He hasn't posted in almost a year. So
Crazy. Yeah.
it's just interesting to me how people had this thesis that they believe like religion, but then when it doesn't go their way, they actually completely leave the market.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, your conviction was, yeah,
Yeah,
shoddy.
they're just. I mean, Craig, it takes a
Tourists.
lot. Yeah, exactly, and they're just a follower. It takes a lot to be a leader in this space. It really does take a lot. Crypto is pumping. BTC nearly approaching $75,000 as it starts to get up into this daily, 3-day, 5-day, weekly liquidity levels. Big levels ahead of us here. Very curious to see. Um, uh, Eli, you have to replay. I think you can watch the stream back, Eli. I'm pretty sure you can go. You
Yeah,
can. You
yeah,
don't have to watch it live right now, so you can go back and then you can actually. I often go back to the start of a live stream and then put it on like 1.5x, right? Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, no, I still think
It's a
this is a
trap.
bull. I still am in that camp. It doesn't mean we can't rally and there's not opportunities to make money trading up until I said before 86. I could even see us hit potentially if we really get a nice rally. But yeah, it's interesting price action, that's for sure. A little bit closer to home, Craig, really quickly. The pressure is building. Australia hasn't seen 10-year bond yield above 5% for about 13 to 14 years. Is this a sign of what's probably going to happen across the world? Canada, US, UK, Europe, where this war is putting pressure on fuel prices, which is putting pressure on importing and exporting, which is putting pressure therefore on groceries, which therefore puts pressure on the economy, which therefore puts pressure on inflation, which therefore puts pressure on interest rates going up. What are your thoughts around this as someone that obviously has a little bit more? I mean, Jade, mortgage rates would be 10%. So I don't want to see that. Like, I see comments like that. I'm like, dude, that it's like it would shut down the Australian economy if rates get to 7%. But then I'm like, well, should I be fixing a rate of like X% for like a couple of years or not? I don't know. I really don't know what to be doing right now. I really don't know what to be doing.
Yeah, I don't actually really know either. I mean, obviously, I had a quick look earlier, and it tends to happen when inflation is on the way up.
Yeah.
So then the bonds go above 5%. I mean, obviously, you and I have been talking. The mortgage rates look like they're heading north. So
Yeah.
man, I don't know. Might be time to lock in a rate, bro. Like, I don't know if the market's going to get better over the next 3.
What's the time? Yeah, it's the time question that affects me. I think I want to lock in a percentage of it, but the question is
Yeah.
how much time? It is like, do you 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? I don't know.
I reckon 2 would be nice for me personally. I think 2's long enough. I don't know if it's long enough, but I feel like even if that was too short a time frame, I'd rather the flexibility
Mm,
than locking in longer. But that's just because I'm a bit conservative.
mm.
You'd sound gibberish greeny at 1.5x. Yeah, he'd sound fast.
Hey,
He'd sound
rookie, I
like
know, bro. I've actually listened to myself back on 2x. I mean, I listen to most things quite like 1.75 or 2x. Ever since university, I used to listen to lectures at 2x. So that it's probably why I speak so fast, rookie. That's
a
such.
bit,
It's,
be like
I
Alvin and
need
the Chipmunks.
I need to slow down. It's been a feedback for me since I was a teacher.
Do you know who you sound like? You sound like that kid in the wheelchair from Malcolm in the Middle, man, that has breathing issues.
Yeah,
You know?
my goodness me.
Shout out to that show.
Um,
Great show.
but yeah, anyways, yeah, 5%. I don't know. It's a tough one. Like obviously having a variable rate allows flexibility. You have the offset account that can offset the interest that you're paying. It means you can redraw. It means you can probably put down some money on the house and then borrow against it. So I don't know.
Yep.
I really actually don't know what to do. I mean, I'm doing this for the first time. I really don't know what to do. I think Australia, I can see worst case scenario happening, but I also can see a scenario where rates could go to 65, 70, 6.5 to 7%. And then the economy slows, inflation slows, and then they go, well, hold on, we need to stimulate this again and drop it aggressively in like a 2-3 year period. So locking a fixed rate out at a high rate right now,
Yeah.
maybe isn't the best move, right? I don't know. It's very interesting. It's a conversation we'll be having probably frequently on the show as well.
No, I need to start deep diving a bit more into the side of things now. Especially you think after 10 years of being a homeowner, I'd be more well versed in this, but I'm really not. And I think you'll find most people own homes probably aren't that well versed in these sorts of conversations because people just don't really have them. Not
Mhm,
in a investing intellectual type level. People will
mhm,
whinge about the rates, but they
mhm,
won't do anything. And that's humans, isn't it? We complain about stuff, but we don't take action. So it's
mhm.
probably a good thing for you and I to delve a bit deeper in, not only for ourselves, but possibly for the viewers out there. Not that we're giving financial advice, but
No.
if you can watch us either get it right or get it wrong, it may help your future decisions in the future. I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah.
I will start to look at this a little bit closer. So then next time we speak about this, I've got a little bit more to say because yeah, my balls are on the line too with this. So probably a good thing to learn.
Yeah, no, I think we have quite a few Australian viewers, so I think it would be important that we do keep up to date with what's happening both across the globe, but also more closer to home here for those who do tune in. So, guys, if you are new here, hit subscribe, hit follow. It's literally free to do that. We're live every day. We've been doing this for 3 years, and we're going to continue to keep doing this in the years ahead. So we're excited, and we hope you find value in our show. So make sure you click follow, make sure you click subscribe, and if you are obviously listening on Apple or if you're listening on Spotify, click follow there as well and give us a little rating. It does go a long way. We very much do appreciate it. Gone are the days of where you used to get tips on stream, Craig, from like whatever platform. Like it's been a while since I've received a tip on stream. So we'll have bull market things hopefully in a year or two's time. Ethereum nodes need to be easier. Vitalik comes out and says, really interesting. I mean, like I actually, a person, I didn't go to college with him. He's a few years older than me, but he was so early to Ethereum. He has been running nodes for ages, and he made millions of dollars from Ethereum nodes.
Oh,
This is, yeah, he was so early to it, bro. He's just one of those guys just who are plugged in to crypto so early. I'm talking like 2016, 17 sort of era when I
wow.
was like,
Yeah.
but just he was ahead of the game. He was an engineer. He knew what, like, he was like, hold on, this tech makes a lot of sense. Like, I didn't understand it. I was just a novice crypto bro coming from a sports hedge arbitrage betting, going, oh, what's this new thing? And it took me 6 years, 7 years before I started to go, hold on a minute, switch on a little bit more here, Grinny. That's why I educate you all about it now, because I've been there in the hard yards and made mistakes and failed. But yeah, Craig, this is an interesting story. I mean, would you ever set up an Ethereum node? Maybe this is the best way to get exposure to Ethereum and the evolution of maybe AI and integration with blockchain technology.
How much Ethereum do you need to run the node? This is a real rookie question, bro, but
I
actually know nothing about it.
I actually don't know. It's probably changed in recent times to run a node. I always get confused between staking on certain. Yeah, no, it is okay. So it is still 32. I just wanted to clarify. So I did a little bit of research. It is still 32. So to run a basic Ethereum full node or light node without staking, you need to have you need to run a validator node to earn staking rewards. You need 32 ETH to run a solo validator. This is the minimum required for a direct participation in Ethereum's proof of stake consensus. Now, I'm actually pretty sure that that Vitalik has actually said this for quite a while, that he has wanted to drop it from 32 ETH. So for those that are tuning in right now, it would just times 32 by, 2,350. I mean, you could have bought Ethereum for cheap recently, but to run a node, it costs 75,000 US dollars, Craig. So you obviously then, I wonder what the payout of that is. It would be interesting. It might not be feasible anymore. I'm sure it's probably not, but it might be feasible if ETH starts to go back towards maybe $1,000, say worst case scenario, Black Swan events. If you do get Ethereum back towards $1,000, then potentially could be something that could be on your radar. I don't know.
Yeah, look, I guess this is just another interesting way of potentially making money that we can look at. I mean, when ETH dropped to about $800 back in the last, what was that? I guess you call that the last bear market. That would have been a pretty juicy time to go in. But I just have to do the math and see what you can potentially earn out of this. Obviously, you can run what it calls like a rocket pool, mini pool with 8 ETH. Interesting, dude. Like, if we're starting to think this might be the future railway lines for AI or those sorts of things, the software layer of crypto, maybe I need to look at it, but also maybe the time has passed, because I certainly know a few people that got stuck into this, like your mate, years ago.
Oh, like 10 years ago. Yeah.
I kind of think, damn, I'm so late to this. Like,
it's like, and that's the thing. That's the thing you need to think about. It's like, well, what's happening now that we're early to? And I think that's the important part. I mean, this is passive. This could be an approach that you could look into. Based on the current numbers here, guys, we've got it up on the screen. You obviously require 32 ETH as collateral to validate nodes, earning staking rewards with a base annual yield of 4%. With MEV or MEV, but MEV boost yields can increase to 5 to 6% annually. For example, 32 ETH staked at 4% APY earns approximately 1.28 ETH per year, which at current rates is around $2,600. So you're putting up 75 grand of capital for a 4% yield. I mean, that's pretty decent, Craig, like when you consider bank interest rates and whatnot, but it doesn't necessarily hedge against inflation. And I suppose you would maybe want to be considering, I mean, it does cost more there as well. Hardware setup is $800 to $2,000. Monthly operational costs for electricity, internet, hosting, another couple $100. Break even 4 to 6 months at current rates.
Yeah,
there it goes.
That's not right.
No,
that's
but
not
it's break even for the cost to set it up, but the Ethereum to buy is separate, right? So, but I mean, it's like, I mean, for a bank. True. In Australia, I think you can get 5% on your AUD currently with certain banks as your interest savings rate. But obviously, the Aussie dollar or the US dollar, which might be at a lower, I think the US is like the cash rate's like 3% over there. I'm not 100% sure, 2 to 3%. But basically, my thoughts is you could do this. However, you would then want to be selling your ETH if ETH does pump in the future, right? But as Zeneca said last week, he's not that keen on ETH as a token anymore. And it makes sense, Craig. I mean, we spoke about stablecoins yesterday. Like, what happens if AI and just goes with stablecoins rather than actual EVM blockchain technology?
Yeah, that's true. Very true. And that's a really good point. And Zeneca did make a good point. Even though the tech's fantastic, just like Chainlink, why do you need to own the token? Why not just use the tech if you're into the tech? And if you want to make money off the tech, probably better to own the company using the tech than the actual token, which was probably just a raise to pay the staff and things like that. So that to me doesn't look like a super sexy option. I think I can outperform 4% a year.
And that's probably the way you got to think about it. Maybe for someone more passive, could be a shout.
Yeah,
Particularly if they do drop. If Vitalik makes it easier and maybe it goes down to like, I don't know, 10 ETH or something.
That was my number. 10 ETH, I might be interested.
But the APY will go down, like, because there are more people in there. So it's more distributed, right? So it's like, feels
like the time might be gone.
Yeah.
But then I mean, we're working in an industry where 4% is laughable. So yeah, that's not going to turn enough people on, I don't think. But yeah, I'd rather put that much money into something else. I'll put into Bitcoin at the bottom and I'll try 3x it.
Let me just do some quick research. How much is Solana staking APY, and how much is Hyperliquid staking? I've personally never got I find too much risk with staking on chain. I haven't got into it. So Hyperliquid, just for comparison's sake, is around native staking on Hyperliquid sits at around 2.35 to 2.38. Solana.
That's not bad in a bear market though, bro. With Hyperliquid, it's not amazing, but I think that coin, if it sends, man, pretty good. Like 2.5 is not great, but if a coin goes 5x, nice.
Previous partners on the show have Solana staking for 6.2% with a 2% fee. But yeah, it ranges between 5.8 and 7% for staking Solana, but it's more volatile, right? And it's an inflationary asset, Solana. So I would worry about that. And I mean, how much more bullish can you get from the meme coin super cycle for that chain and that token? Like, it's gone to 300 or just shy of it, $290 twice now in 21 and in 2024. I don't know if it can get to new all-time highs until it is no longer inflationary. So I don't know. It's an interesting one, but maybe Helios could be a shout, like something that's really Treasure Suite actually has Solana staking up to 7%. Lido has Solana staking 5.8%. Coinbase is 5.2% for Solana, but charges a higher 25. Dude, Coinbase fees are nuts, bro. Absolutely nuts. So anyways, interesting. It is interesting. I personally haven't ever really gotten into staking. So we just had a daily close. Daily close, very bullish, Craig. At $74.8 thousand. We are now well up into some liquidity areas here on Bitcoin. The daily stochastic still has room higher, with the stochastic close now at 71.8 on the daily, and we're approaching the 80th percentile. So this move probably continues for a few days, if not a week or so, before I maybe start to consider how high we actually go. So we have a daily order block sitting at around 76 to 78K. We have a weekly FVG that sits a little bit higher between 86K and 79K from memory. Let me just pull that one up. Yes, 79 to 86. So yeah, there's a lot of liquidity higher that we could easily see move. And I mean, the weekly as well just looks pretty crazy here, Craig. I mean, I shared that inverse hammer. I don't know if I still have it on my screen.
It filled the wick, Greenie. We filled the wick.
We did fill the wick, Craig, and we're actually going above it. So very important. Today's an interesting level, right? Because we have the lows from April 25 and kind of in collaboration with the 2024 highs at 74, 75K as well. So this is an important next day for me to see if we can show strength above this. And then if we can show strength above this level, right? So here's where I maybe flip bullish as well. No, not necessarily 93.7. That was more tongue in cheek, change of structure. If we can flip bullish here, come back down, retest this, that changes my bias. That would change my bias. And I'd say, okay, well, it looks like the low is potentially in. We now have a higher low, and this is our new accumulation range. And anytime you get an opportunity in here, is probably not a bad opportunity to buy, but maybe we don't even trade back in there and you have to buy here between 70 and 80K. And that's that next move up. So again, being a trader is all about being adaptive. Not just being set on one particular thing that occur, not hoping, not gambling, but actually just being super flexible, super fluid, being aware of all scenarios to take place and adjusting accordingly when you have a structure change, a time change, okay? And all that's in between. Craig, huge episode, great episode today. Anything you want to leave us with? And just a reminder, guys, this is our last show of the week. Unfortunately, we won't be live Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Both of us have family from overseas, so it's the first time we're seeing them in multiple years. So it's nice to catch up with them. So anything you want to leave us with here, Craig, as BTC closes at 74.8 on the previous daily close?
Yeah, question time. So say I've got that Bitcoin, quarter Bitcoin that didn't swap. Where would you sell, Greeny? If you were me and Bitcoin pumped and it was a relief rally, what price point would you sell at?
I'd actually hold. I would actually hold that. Yeah.
Okay. It was a bit of a trick question. Okay, cool. Just saying.
If
Okay, cool.
If it was me, I'm probably in the position I would hold that. Like, I mean, it depends when you bought. When did you buy?
This was early, man. I've written this up. This is what I've swung trade since 40K. Yeah, so ages. It's an old bat. It's about a year old, maybe two. So if I did sell it, I'd still be in profit. So I can't tax loss it, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, the conversation would then probably move towards like, it's probably just better to like, I mean, what's the benefit of selling at 80K, but then buying at 65? It's probably not really worth it, right? It's
I see
20%,
what you're saying.
Like, it's not a lot. Like, I mean, 20% on 0.2 might be a lot. Like, how much is 0.25 times, say, 75,000, just for easy math, is like what, 20 grand? Yeah, 18.7. Say you're trying to buy the same amount, so 18,750 times, say, 65,000, and you're selling it 75,000. Oh my god, it says I have to do a robot test. Hold on. It says confirm you're a human. I am a human.
It's annoying, those things.
Times by maybe. Oh, sorry. It's divide, not by times. 0.28. So you would literally earn, if you sold at 75K and you bought back at 65K, so $10,000, which is quite a lot when you think about it for one, you would only have 0.38 of a Bitcoin. So, I mean, if we think about that in current prices, this is how you got to think, guys. This is what I do. This is what I do for the GTG community. 0.038 times by $75,000 current price means you look, $3,000. Is $3,000 a lot to you, Craig? That's the real story. Okay. Are you happy to aggressively swing trade, potentially get it wrong? There's always a potential you could get it wrong.
Thing.
Or to just save maybe $3,000, and that's from 75. That was selling today and buying back at 65K. So maybe it might go higher, maybe it goes lower. What do you think? Is it worth that?
I think I'd rather ride it out than try and earn 3K.
Like 10, it's like 10%, right? It's about 10%.
I think the stress of having to try and swing it would outweigh $3,000 if I get it wrong. Like I'll get pissed off if I got it wrong. No, so I think I ride it out and try and sell it at 200K some other time.
200K, woo! What time frame you
quarter of a mil next month. Eli, welcome back, brother. Eli shorting apparently.
I'm gonna ignore that comment because that's just.
I reckon this is a bear trap, Eli. This has been the longest bear trap in history, a 6-month bear trap.
We're about to see 6 figures, yeah. No, great stream today. Guys, if you are new, drop the follow, drop the sub on YouTube, and obviously rate us on Spotify. Give us a follow on Apple and Spotify. We very much appreciate it. We hit over 111 downloads in our first 6 episodes over across those platforms, which is fantastic. So we're bringing more content. As I said, last show of the week for us because we've got family over here. I might try and do something. Craig obviously isn't at home. I can whiz home if I need to do a video or a stream or something. But at this stage, it'll be our last stream for the week. And then we'll be back to normal schedule next week from Sunday evening, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time as well on Monday. So Craig, anything else you want to leave us with today, mate, at all, or not?
Nah, man, just enjoy the pumps, guys. Don't get too carried away. Stay calm. Take profits if you're in profit. And I guess what Greeny says, actively be trading. If you're in positions, be alert, because could pull back at any time. But as Greeny said, we might have a days or a week ahead of us with more green. So look, I'm just excited to long Greeny Zeet cards. And buy my Zeet cards. I need that 8% royalties. If you
I
guys
sold.
don't mind.
So I got up to. I should probably update about that. I got up to 300. Guess how many I own now?
Of your own cards?
No, of like all cards. I put bids out, and then I saw all the, not the FUD, but just abstract, just bearish. Anyways, get like I had 300 Z cards. Guess how many I own now?
30. Oh.
For our listeners, I only own 2. So Zeet's this new creator card platform on Abstract, which I think is going to cook. I love it, but it's Abstract. Yeah, I don't know. I just personally not. There's just too many things.
Just bad market conditions, Greeny. Just bad.
Yeah,
market
I mean, if we go along OpenSea's conditions, bad market conditions. I mean, I own one of my rare cards and one of my common cards, Craig. I sold 300 plus cards over the past sort of week or so. I was lying in bed at 1 p.m. the other night. My wife was going, "Get off your phone." I'm like, "Sorry, I'm just selling NFTs for like $2.
10 cents.
Yeah, at $2. So
at $2.10 or something. Yeah.
I think it's going to cook. I hope it cooks. Personally, for me, I was like, you know what? If I'm buying all this, I actually have to. If I'm a whale in this, which I was top 5 holders or top 10 holders or something.
Okay.
If I'm a whale in this, I need to actively be doing this. Do I want to spend time actively doing this? No. What's not better use of my time? Building the business, more content, education, trading more actively where I have an edge, not learning a new thing. I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be great. But personally, it's not for me. And I think there's better opportunities out there. I think there's better opportunities for me to allocate my $1,000 to $2,000 that I had.
Yeah, probably your time more so as well. Probably your focus is better spent.
Can I talk on that too? Like liquidity will dry up. It always dries up on these sorts of things. So I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell an ISO beast. I'm going to sell a whale card for $150. I sold Zia. So the Zia legendary card, that was me. I sold it for like, I don't know, $200. I listed it for 0.2 and no one bought it. So I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to dump this into a bid. The thing you got to remember about all these creators, they'll talk a big game. The thing you have to remember is if this is conversions, which Eli has said it is conversion only, these people weren't even on the Zeet leaderboards to begin with. They're just farming engagement on CT, bro. Like if it is engagement based on CT, very different. If it's very different, like if it's CT engagement, very different. If it actually goes into conversions or content in other platforms and whatnot, it just changes the game, okay? Some of the best, you look at le.hl, okay, Lee.Hyperliquid. He's just pivoted to meme-based content with videos and short captions, and he's getting millions of impressions every day. I mean, sick. If that's the way you want to grow a brand, sick. If that comes into the game of Zeet, sick. He's probably a good card to own. If it's about conversions, people like that are not worth holding the cards. And so, again, I was a top 5 Zeet earner. Like, I know how it works. I'm going to probably partake in it potentially, but I've gone down this whole mantra of less is more on my Twitter profile, Greg, and I'm absolutely killing it, bro. So, like, why would I change that? And so I think, again, more time in the better use of time. Don't get stuck thinking something is fun. Sure, something is fun, but is it actually going to make you money? And I think that's the lesson that I've really understood about crypto is like, I'm here to have fun, but I'm also here to make money. And I think there's better money in making opportunities than that personally. I don't know what your thoughts are there.
Yeah, I mean, I've probably got similar thoughts to you, but I'm probably more keen to get stuck in and do a little bit of trading with it. So for myself, I'm a bit different in that I do find that sort of thing quite fun and stimulating. Also, I don't have the burden of running a live trading group like you do. So even though I'm building our brand out and doing that sort of work, I also don't have the same time suck that you have with GTG. Not saying it's a time suck, but it is a time suck. So you and I are probably just at different stages, but I completely can appreciate your view and where you're coming from. And there is a possibility it falls over and does terribly too. So, you've taken risk out of it now. Did you end up making money? You probably did. In
Oh
fact, it was
yeah, I
free,
mean
so you have.
it was all free. So I probably made $1,000 from Zeke cards. Yeah, I mean I
That's
probably
great,
lost money
dude.
because I probably lost money because I bought like Jack and shit overpriced and then sold them into bids. So I farmed the
Yeah.
shit out of. I mean my abstract XP went up 6x. Sick. That I mean, it's a point. I mean, I spoke about point systems and reward systems previously as well. Like, it's just a bearish. It's a bearish model. It's a bearish model because you're incentivizing people who are none the wiser of nothing, no intrinsic value, no money making. Like, it's just leading them to the slaughterhouse. And you've like OpenSea literally have just come out and said that and they're $1 billion company. Like, I mean, what do you think smaller chains going to be doing? Smaller products are going to be doing? It's just I'm sick of it, Craig. And I'm sorry that again, it's not FUD. We spoke about FUD earlier in the episode. This is just me being realistic and telling people what they actually need to hear because so many people out there on the timeline, on YouTube, don't tell you what you need to hear. So I really hope you appreciate that because as a teacher, as a qualified teacher, my job is to tell you what you need to hear at all times. And sometimes that's criticism. Sometimes that needs to be some hard conversations. And I often need to hear people give me hard feedback. And it's been good. Like I've partnered with some business guys and they've been great. They're like, Greeny, this is rubbish. You need to fix this up. You need to do this better. Your content's trash. I'm like, your thumbnails are shit. I'm like, sick. Tell me what I need to do. Like, how can I improve? And let's sort this out. Right. So I think as humans evolve, Greg, being able to critically have conversations is going out the window. And it's so true. Like, I mean, everyone just
It
results
is.
to call people scammers. Everyone results to just hate speech because they're not bull posting your bags or saying what you need to hear. That's more of a reflection of your insecurities than your ability to critically evaluate and take on feedback and do better. Like that's like it is just it's and that gets compounded when you're trading and investing. I think that's the lesson as well, and how it integrates from life back into trading and crypto specifically. Bot 12345 owns 127 Zeke cards. Eli, I know. Eli, I know what your address is, bro. Again, I look at all these things. I know who everyone is. I know, like, again, it's interesting. I hope Zeke cooks. I want it to cook. I'm still going to create content around it if it fits what I want to do. If it's InfoFly slot, I'm not going to do it. I'll be transparent. If it's InfoFly conversion slot, I'm not going to do it because you have to do it's paid partnership trash that you have to put on Twitter, all this sort of stuff. So yeah, anyways, it is what it is. Please block me, bro. Block me. Anyways, Craig, mate, great show today. Anything else that we want to talk about lastly?
No, man. No, everyone enjoy the rest of the week. As Greeny and I said, we'll be off just for our birthdays, spending time with loved ones near us and dear us. So take care out there, guys. We'll be back with you Sunday. If not a special appearance from Greeny or myself during the week, but just prepare for us not to be there. We'll be back Sunday/Monday for the Aussies or Kiwis in the room. And I hope everyone has a really good week, Greeny. I hope you enjoy your time with your family. I know your mum's got a pretty big, it's your mum's birthday tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah. 60 tomorrow.
Yeah, the big number. So enjoy time with her, brother. That's a pretty special thing. So enjoy your time away, and can't wait to be back, guys, with you Sunday, Monday next week.
Yeah, excellent. Just to clarify, I do West Plamone. I agree. Bitcoin's at 75.4K now, Craig. So maybe you want to swing trade it. If it gets to 80 and you want to be buying it below 65, then you're saving yourself maybe $5,000. Okay, that when it starts to get to 5-10 grand, might be worth it.
I'm thinking if it gets towards the sort of 80 to 85 range, I might swing it at about 84.
Yeah, I don't mind. So, I don't mind that. Yeah.
Got to be patient. But exciting times. I love to see green. I love the fact I've gone away on holiday and it's pumping. It's like, yay, sweet. I don't like it's cool. Yeah. It's cool. So hopefully everyone's in a bit of a better mood with this green, and just don't chase pumps. And enjoy your time with your family. And I'm going to do the same. Go for a little walk now. Go get a coffee and pretend like I'm on holiday.
I mean, your bags are up, Craig. So you're making money.
I'm rich again.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, thanks for being here. We appreciate all the comments. We appreciate Rera. Good to see you, Legend. Good to see you. Appreciate everyone. Eli, good to see you as well. All the best, Legend. DMs are always open for you, of course. But guys, as always, thanks for tuning in. Click follow, click sub if you're obviously on YouTube. And yeah, as Craig said, we'll be back next Sunday night for our Americans, and obviously Monday for Australians next week. We're spending some time with some family. Mate, have a lovely time, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks, brother. See you, Greeny. Thanks.